Welcome to Dear Joe TV. Tuesday night na naman, and I would like to welcome our Tuesday Club members who are always with us sa premiere episodes natin. Week after week, lagi sila nandyan every Tuesday night. So thank you for your loving support, and I really appreciate you all. If you find value in what we're doing here, please subscribe to Dear Joe TV. Just click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share na rin ninyo with your friends. Drop us a comment or two as well because I love hearing from all of you. Follow us na rin on Facebook and Instagram at Joe the Mango. And if you want to send in your story, you can email it to me at dearjoe@dearjoe.tv. And for more updates, visit my website at www.dearjoe.tv. Welcome to episode 23. My parents hate my boyfriend. Ano nga ba ang gagawin mo kung ayaw ng parents mo sa boyfriend o girlfriend mo? Even to the point they will ask you to choose between them. Is there any way we can find a middle ground where we could both submit to what they want and still not become miserable in the end? This is the story of Cherie. Hello, I'm Joe the Mango. Welcome to another episode of Love Notes. Dear Joe, for the past several months, I have thought of writing you a letter but could not find the words to express what's inside of me. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. Just call me Cherie. I'm 28 years old and the youngest of two children. I come from an upper middle class family, and my father is someone who believes in the old-fashioned ways of courtship. Masyado siyang conservative and tends to be close-minded when it comes to new ideas. Hindi kami ganun ka-close ng family ko, Joe, and my relationship with my parents is one wherein I tell them only what they want to hear. I have lived my life doing everything they want. Joe, I'm a resident doctor at a hospital in Makati where I met Darwin. He was very thoughtful and nice, a real gentleman too, and we started going out and soon became good friends. After a while, we just felt we were right for each other, so I broke up with my boyfriend Joe because Darwin and I sort of became us, even in the absence of a formal courtship. Since wala siyang kotse, Joe, there were times where I offered him to use my car. And whenever we had the same schedule, we would go home together. Ipagdadrive niya ako hanggang sa bahay namin. And then, magko-commute na lang siya pa uwi. He did not want me driving home alone at night, especially pag pagod ako sa trabaho. Joe, Darwin really looked out for me. Last Christmas, my mom and I had a big fight because she found out that I was letting Darwin use my car. My dad said he did not trust him because he was just after the things I had, especially yung kotse ko. But I tried to explain to them, I tried to defend Darwin, Joe, but still they would not listen. You see, Joe, Darwin is a nurse at the unit where I was assigned, and I believe that is the reason why my parents did not approve of him. Joe, my relationship with my parents suffered immensely, so I decided to leave and stay with my friends for several weeks when my dad asked me to choose between him and Darwin. I told my mom that we are getting married civilly and she begged me na umuwi na daw ako and pretend na parang walang nangyari and it's over between Darwin and I. Para lang hindi magalit yung daddy ko. Joe, I obliged to my mom's request. I came home, but things were never the same again. I resent them every day until I cannot take it anymore. So umalis ulit ako. But this time I stayed at Darwin's house and we lived in together with his family. My mom found out again and she pleaded with me to go home because my dad was really getting very mad and was starting to make threats. Natatakot siya para sa sarili niya and for me. And she told me she would send me to the States and stay there for a while. Joe, I was ready to give up everything I had for a chance to live my life with the person I really loved. Sabi ng mami ko, my sister was really getting emotionally affected and my parents' marriage was starting to break. For my mom and my sister's sake, I packed my things, Joe. Iniwan ko si Darwin, and I reluctantly came back home Hindi pa rin kami nag-uusap ng dad ko hanggang ngayon. And I've tried everything to reach out to him, but he just won't budge. I have grown very, very depressed and frustrated with my life, Joe. I still see Darwin, but we decided kaibigan na lang muna kami. I thought things would be different. In a way, it is, but not for me, Joe. My parents got what they wanted, and they may be happy, but I'm not. My mom and my dad told me it's my fault if my family breaks apart. My brother said if anything happens to our parents, I will be to blame. Joe, somehow I felt that this wouldn't have happened if Darwin was a doctor or someone with some social standing. Sometimes I just want to end my life. I'm just trying to live each day as it comes. Hindi siya madali, Joe. I guess happiness isn't something meant for me. My depression is really getting worse every day. How long will I go on living like this and giving in to my parents? Bakit hindi nila makita na nahihirapan na ako? Why can't they feel what I feel? Hindi na ako bata, Joe. I'm an adult. When do I start living my own life? Should I always be the one to understand them just because I'm their daughter and they're my parents? Hindi ba pwedeng intindihin din nila ako, Joe? Or am I wrong about everything? I guess you've done me a big favor just by reading this letter. Thank you very much for your time. Sincerely yours, Sherry.
Sometimes letting it out can make a big difference. Oh, yes. And sometimes you gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let it out. No matter what you're going through. Yeah. I know how you feel. I know it's hard to reveal. But let your heart speak. 6 days sing it. It's Joe's love knows. Joe's pain goes love knows. It's Joe's pain goes love knows.
Sherry, I've been in the same boat as Darwin when I was still courting my wife. Nung time na yon, I just couldn't understand kung bakit siya kailangang dali ng mami niya sa States para ilayo sa akin. I couldn't find any sensible reason why parents would meddle with their adult children's personal affairs, controlling yung buhay nila and even unfairly judging the people they choose to love. But now that I'm a father to 4 daughters, I have grown to understand why. Parents would only want the best for their children. They would want to see them happy and successful. Our role as parents is to train our children and prepare them for a life that they will eventually live apart from us. They are our heritage from the Lord, and we are accountable to how we raise them and guide them as they grow up. While we cannot question our parents' genuine intentions for us, there are times when these intentions are expressed in a way that reflect a sense of selfish entitlement and control. It is sad that there are many parents who don't realize that when their children come of age, their roles change from being a guardian to that of a supporter. It is a time when we hopefully have taught and trained them well, and that we are able to let them go on their own and trust that they would live out their lives in the wisdom and the way of the Lord. Sherry, you are already 28. You're not getting any younger. I believe you have spent a great deal of that 28 years trying to make your parents happy. You have become the professional that they wanted you to be, and you have tried your best to be a good daughter to them, even if it meant sacrifice and self-denial. Honestly, Sherry, you have done enough. Your parents have fulfilled their role to bring you up well and give you a good education. Beyond that is a life that you are supposed to live not under their control, but only with their loving guidance and support. I know how difficult it is to choose, but you don't have to. I just think it's unfair for your parents to ask you that. Honestly, if your family fights and your parents break up, that's their choice. Hindi mo kasalanan yon. It's not your decision and it's not entirely your fault. Forcing you to make a choice between what will make you happy and what will make them happy is selfish. While it may be true that marrying someone who is rich may give you a comfortable life, it doesn't always mean that you will live a happy life. Sherry, we have to honor our parents and show them respect as long as they are with us. But it doesn't mean that you are not allowed to set a safe boundary from them. You are not honoring them if you are allowing them to continue acting in a way contrary to God's intentions. The safe boundary I'm talking about doesn't mean you are free to do whatever you want to do. Sherry, you will still be accountable to God for how you live your life. Living in with Darwin outside marriage was never a good idea. Alam mo naman yun. And you cannot blame your family for that, because that was a decision that you made and one that you have to be responsible for. But it's never too late to set things straight and start over again. Sherry, it's okay to live your life on your own while still honoring your parents from a safe distance. Honoring starts with you forgiving them for all that they have done to hurt you. Honoring means sincerely praying for them that God will heal their hurts and give them an open heart to accept na hindi ka na bata, and that their responsibility now is not to dictate and control, but to love, guide, and support you. Thank you for writing, Cherie. I pray that God will lead you to the man who loves you and that you will live your life with him worthy of God's blessings. And you would honor your parents with a marriage that is rooted in God's love and God's truth and a life committed to His purpose and for His glory. Always remember that if God is on your side, who can be against you? Even if you are left with nothing in the end, if God is all you have, then you have all you need. I'm glad to have spent another meaningful Tuesday night with all of you. Maraming salamat for joining me tonight. I'll see you again next week here on Dear Joe TV. God bless you all.